I just pulled a rookie move. I did it again. I was on mute. Listen, this is Freestyle Friday. This is your midday mind shift. I apologize for keeping that mute button on. You know what? I'm not even going to hit that mute button no more. That mute button is the devil. That's all I'm saying. So listen, with that being said, this is your Freestyle Friday midday mind shift. And the title for today is, Are You Teachable? In your life, in business, a job, well, maybe a job doesn't pertain these days because nobody wants to work. I'm just being honest. Nobody wants to work. So if you want to be successful in your business, your ministry, your family, and those around you, you must be teachable. And to be teachable, that's what's going to bring you success in your life. Because if you're not teachable, that means there's some disconnects that are going to happen. It really, truly, pretty much means that you're useless to the company that you're working for, or you're useless to the ministry that you're part of. You're useless to the movement that you're involved in if you're unteachable. Being teachable is going to gain you success. It's going to gain you integrity. It's going to gain you respect wherever you may go. All right. So years ago when I had my business doing drywall texture, remodels, painting, all that good stuff, the fun stuff, I no longer do it. As you know, I am a coach. If you need me, reach out to me at setfreelife.net. But I had my business, and I was in a point of my business where I had to start growing. And in that growing, in that maturity season, I had to learn how to relinquish power. I had to learn how to relinquish control. Not even so much power, but relinquish control in my business. And so I had two jobs that were going on, and I had to be at both of them. And I just didn't understand how I was going to be there. I had just hired somebody. They were fresh. I'd never worked with them ever before. And I started cutting in the walls. I was going to cut in the walls, get them to a certain point, and then have them roll out the walls. But in that moment, I really felt like the Holy Spirit nudged me and said, teach them how to paint. Now, this life tip is in my book. So go to 100 Power Tips to Set You Free on Amazon. Get yourself a copy. Or if you want a signed copy, reach out to me and I will get that sent out to you. But it's in my book. And so teaching someone to paint. So I start cutting in the walls. I start cutting in the ceiling. And I said, do you think you can do this? He said, sure. I said, all right, do exactly what I'm doing and go cut that wall in. Go cut in that ceiling. Okay, cool. Not a problem. So he did. He cut it in. I'm like, okay, cool. I said, let me see the paintbrush. Grab the paintbrush. Went to the baseboard, cut in the baseboard. I said, can you do that? He said, yeah. So he gets down there, paints on top of the baseboard. Looked good. I painted around the face plates because it was a job that they didn't want to pay me to get rid of all their face plates. So it was a quick, generic job. I said, all right, cool. I cut around the face plates. He cut around them. I said, great. I said, here's a tarp. Here's a ladder. Here's a 5-gallon bucket of paint. Here's a paint cup. Here's a brush. This brush is yours. I'll be back tomorrow. I said, matter of fact, I'll be back this afternoon to lock up. He's like, what do you mean? I've never painted. I said, yeah, you have. You just finished painting. He's like, but I've never rolled out. I said, you don't have to worry about rolling out today. This is a 2,400 square foot townhouse. I doubt that you're going to cut everything in by tonight. I said, so just cut. Use the ladder, cut everything in, and I'll see you this afternoon. I got there that afternoon. He had half of the townhouse cut in. And I'm sitting there going, wow. Okay, cool. Went the next day. But long story short, he painted this townhouse in 3 to 4 days by himself. So I learned something that day. 2 areas of business and the worker. And here's the attributes that this young man had. Now he's in ministry. He's got a job. He's married, got kids. It's awesome. But there's 3 points that I learned with this young man. Number 1 is this. He had the will to grow. He had it positioned in his mind. I want to grow. I want to understand this thing. I want to know it. I want to build my confidence. So he had the will to grow. So in that will to grow, there's 3 points within that point. Will to expand. He wanted to expand from where he was. You see, when you go to work and you just do the same old job every day, and that's fine. There's some people that don't want to grow, and that's okay. If you're fine with that, that's cool. That's just not in my DNA, and that's just not in most of the DNA of people that I rock with. He was willing to expand his mind. B, he was really willing to relieve somebody of a responsibility so they can go do another job. You see, because if he wasn't willing to relieve me, he would have made every excuse not to stay behind. Now, if he would have said, listen, I don't feel comfortable being here by myself, and he would have kept pursuing it, then I wouldn't have pushed him to stay. Two things would have probably happened. Okay, well then, you know what? Maybe this job isn't for you. Or, okay, let me help you cut in for a while, get you more comfortable. But he was willing to relieve me as his boss. Point 3 under point 1, willing to advance financially. Because as we were talking later, he said, I want to grow so that I can make more money. If I learn these things, then I'll make more money down the line. Now, he's not a painter this day. And that's not what this whole story is about. This whole story is about the willing to expand your mind, the willingness to relieve someone of their, I'm not going to say burden, but relieve somebody of their duty in that moment, and then willing to advance financially. So that's point number 1, willing to grow. Point number 2, in order for you to be successful and teachable, you've got to be open to criticism. You got to be open to criticism. You can't be afraid of the rejection. You can't be afraid of, what if I do it wrong? You can't be afraid of that. You've got to be open to criticism. And what does that entail? Not being cocky or arrogant. And even if you're cocky and arrogant, right? Willing to expand and advance. Anonymous user, let me know who you are. You can't be cocky or arrogant. You could be confident. And honestly, I can work with somebody who's cocky and arrogant as long as they do the job right. Because to me, that just shows that they are confident. You follow what I'm saying? So point number 2, open to criticism. You've got to be open to criticism. And point number 3, it's more of a question than it is a tip. Are you a good steward? You see, because when God places you in a place in life, what's going on, Melissa? When God places you in a position in life, you've got to be able to be a good steward with that job, your gift, your finances, your giving, your tithe, all of those things. That's what's going to make you successful, is when you are able to be a good steward. That's when you can really, truly be teachable. In order to be teachable, you've got to be able to receive. You've got to be able to be open to criticism. You've got to be willing to grow. You've got to want more than where you're at in your present moment. Now, if you're fine where you're at, cool. Keep rocking that. Be the best at sitting idle. But if you have a chance to advance in a company or in your business, then go after it. Now, be careful with what I just said about if you're able to go after it, then do it. Watch this. If it's not in your lane, let it go. Let it go. I've been in positions where I tried this and I tried that and I tried this and I tried that, and I got so confused with what I did that people didn't know what to come to me for. Right? It's okay to learn new things, do new things, and go after new things. But it's all about trial and error. It's all about saying, do I really want to do this thing? When I was making plates as that burrito guy, Everyone's like, dude, that food looks fire. Yes, it looks good. It tastes good. But do I want to do this for the next 20 years? I don't think so. I really don't think so. I love to watch people eat my food, but I'm not going to go do that full time. There's some people that can because that's their gift. It's not my gift. Editing video, I love to edit video if it's my personal video. But for me to go and take on someone else's project, it's far in between that I'll say, yeah, I'll do that for you. I used to, but now at noon, Mountain Time, 2 o'clock Eastern, I'll be back with another word, with another tip. I want you to understand that everything that you do in life, everything that you are stepping into, you have to be teachable, because if you're not teachable, it's not going to work for you, period. So go after what you know that you need to do, and everything else is going to fall right into place. So, Melissa, thank you for joining me live. Anyone that's coming in on the replay, let me know that you are here as well. If you need me, reach out to me at setfreelife.net. And like I said, I will see you noon on Monday, Mountain Time. And that's all I got. All right. Peace.